The crypto market's in a really interesting spot right now, but I can already tell you, if you're really gonna make some crazy gains this next season, there's a couple of key things you need to understand. And to summarize them real quick, you've got to understand the money cycle. It goes from fiat into Bitcoin, Bitcoin into the large caps, and then as the market picks up, it goes into the smaller caps like meme coins, etc. It also works that same way, exactly reversed, when the market turns back around. You've got to understand as well that price predictions don't really make sense, as almost everybody is wrong all the time when it comes to a real bull market, as you don't know the levels of hype, you don't know the crazy advancements, you don't know the crazy announcements. As I've stated before, most of these bear market projects, they're hiding their announcements right now. They're not putting their best foot forward because they want to wait for the bull market. Yet, every bull market has a specific niche that all of a sudden does exceedingly well. And up front, you don't know what it's going to be. The reason I keep talking about these coins right now that are involved with DWF Labs is because right now we're noticing some crazy opportunities for short positions. It's as simple as that. I just look at every single transaction that goes through one of their accounts. A lot of them are spam, a lot of them are not useful, but I'm watching every single one because I understand what they're doing. And we caught on very early, so we're able to take coin number one, at least one of the first coins we noticed, and just take it from there. Just continue on with the system that apparently works. But the thing is, in a bull market, this exact same scenario is going to play out. You're going to have to look, and there's going to be a lot of different hints everywhere. If you catch on really early, you'll most likely be able to make tens of millions of dollars in the span of a couple of months, regardless of what you're starting with. It's only the later that you catch on to the hype, the wave, that you're going to make less and less. And a similar concept is the meme season. All the people that were extremely early in meme season caught on to 𝗵𝗵𝗃 and then bought every single thing afterwards. Every single one of those guys, if they started with $1,000, made at least $1 million, if not more. And the same thing applied to Shiba Inu and coins back a couple years ago. Every single person that was there early, if they weren't stupid with it, they would have made crazy amounts of money, even if they sold quick. Don't get it twisted. I've said before, the reason Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, all those guys get so extremely wealthy is because they've got a tolerance for risk that most people do not possess, all right? I've said this before, and I see this in the comment section all the time. It's so extremely hard when you're seeing your money at a 20x, a 50x, to not sell. And honestly, that's what sometimes wrecks people. Either they sell too early or they don't sell at all, leaving all their gains to flow. And it's that key of finding the right time to sell. But again, it also depends on what specific niche you're in. For example, a coin like XRP, it's going to most likely flow like in most other bull markets, except for the fact that XRP misses a little piece from the 2021 bull market, but it's basically not going to be one of the first ones to collapse. In a bull market, how you notice it starts is you're going to start seeing these altcoins go up 30, 40, 50% in a day all of a sudden. And it's going to be many altcoins all across the board. Once you see that, you've got to really start looking for what the next trend is going to be. How you notice a bear market starts? Because every single time you look at your accounts, we're down 20% again. And again, right now, I believe the bull market has already started. And like with this right here, it basically goes pretty slow until it goes exponentially quick. And this is with nearly everything. We often talk about how progress in most things is not really linear, but exponential. The bull market similarly. I mean, if Bitcoin goes to $35,000 right now, I mean, when it was the first time, people were like, oh, wow, this bull market is amazing. This time around, we're like, ooh, most likely it's just a trap. It's not that exciting. Even though that means that the price has gone from bottom at 15,000 up more than 100 and something% to $35,000 or whatever, which means that for any person looking back, this would have looked like a crazy bull period. But as you're in it, you don't fully understand. It's only once it starts to ramp up like crazy, and you start to see massive, crazy daily gains, that people really acknowledge the bull market's there. If it's slow, sustainable gains, people usually don't really think about it that much, which is why I'm warning you right now. Understand that the progress will most likely look very slow at the start. Right now, most likely the bull market has already started and the halving is only 200 days away or so. There is time for another dip, sure, but most likely this dip will not be lower than the previous lows we've seen. And if it does, as I've stated before, I personally don't think that that's really based upon actual demand for Bitcoin, but I think it's mostly based upon institutional play. Some guys have pointed out, hey, every single time Satoshi tweets, the last time was 5 years ago, the price comes back down. I don't think he has that power, except for making people realize, well, perhaps coins where you actually know the founders might be better to fully focus on because, well, with Bitcoin, in theory, there's one guy that holds $1 million. You don't know if he's alive. You don't know if he's going to sell it. You don't know many parts about it. On the opposite side, if Bitcoin goes down, all other altcoins are going to have a really, really hard time for a bit. And so it's better to just, I guess, also bank on the fact that Bitcoin will survive. To get back to it though, I still must mention this. If you're wondering why I'm very often so excited about XRP, it's not the only coin that can get things done. It's not the only coin I'm excited about, but they've basically got themselves a couple additional check marks a lot of other cryptos don't have. We could talk for a long time about exactly why XRP was targeted and how the whole Ethereum debacle started, but the most important part here is, hey, Grayscale, remember that XRP Trust you closed down when the SEC filed the Ripple case, and they just lost, making XRP the only digital asset with legal clarity, right, as the SEC lost. When will you go file an XRP spot ETF? For some reason, these guys are so hesitant towards XRP that I sometimes think they all understand that this got some real potential, some real good stuff, and they're just afraid of it or something along those lines. So there's just been like a coalition of sorts to bring it down. I just kind of like to root for the underdog because they've gone through so much hardship with no real good reason. A little side note in terms of advancements, Honda is apparently now accepting crypto for payments. Well, realistically speaking, there's one company that now allows you to lease Hondas through this specific company, and they accept a lot of different cryptos, including XRP as well. Will people really use this? Not so much, but that again brings up the idea. Crypto right now in a bull market, what does it really show? Oh, it showcases that a lot of companies are doing really well. They're expanding. What do they really do? They're making this space bigger. But realistically speaking, a lot of the fundamental parts of the crypto space have not even been developed. The idea that you can't use crypto for every single purchase just quite yet shows just in what type of infancy stage we're in. Another point there, Apple doesn't have a wallet yet. It's been rumored that Microsoft's already working on one, but the idea that Apple doesn't even have a wallet on their phone just quite yet shows you how early we still are. As I said before, like Mason showed here, at the start, things are going to go very slow. At some point, it's going to go completely exponential though. And again, it's going to most likely happen when you least expect it to happen. And very often, you will believe, or I should say it the opposite way, you won't believe you're onto something when you are. And that's exactly the same situation with what I've been showing you with all these transactions and the coins I said to short. Most people, they look at it and think, this is not a crazy opportunity. I most likely just, I should let this go. It's not for me or whatever they're thinking. But sometimes, guys, it is that easy. My first bull market, every time you see those gains, you're like, you see, there must be something going on. It doesn't really feel real. For some people it does, but for most people it doesn't. But it really is. It's really not that crazy to go up 80% in a day consistently, which is why we're so heavily buying right now. I will remind you yet again, I gain nothing from you buying, so please don't see this as an advertisement for crypto, because I want you to fully understand what you're getting into. It's a bumpy ride. There's going to be lots of downs, but the way I see it is, we've got 200 days to the Bitcoin halving. Historically speaking, slightly before and a good time afterwards, prices go up a lot. And so what my plan is, and this might sound crazy, but my plan is just, right now, get as many coins as possible. And I want you guys to take this extremely seriously, all right? Make sure you've also pressed that like button to show your commitment here. But I'm going to buy as much as possible. And in 1 year from now, we'll look back at this and think, hey, that was either a really stupid decision or the best decision of a lifetime. Because I personally think the way things have historically speaking gone, this is the best time to accumulate. And it's most likely going to do really, really well. And I always say it like this. I'd rather try my luck with the money I've got right now. Put it into my investment and see how it goes than not even try it at all. Because the money you'll make again, but the investment opportunity you might never get again. I understand a lot of people don't have that additional dollar to invest, which is why, again, I sometimes say, try your hardest to not borrow or things like that. That's a little bit irresponsible for the most part, but try your hardest to allocate towards investments. So hopefully you're better off later. So perhaps, slow down the consumption right now, maybe wait a year to buy your TV or wait a couple years to upgrade other stuff like your iPhone for the sake of trying to actually get some capital to start going for investments. Again, it's not that investments always do well. Please understand, sometimes things go wrong, especially as we get more into the bull market where things are almost turning back around again, because at some point that's going to happen. And the riskier you go, right? The lower along the ranks you go, the lower the market cap, the more potential it has, but also the more risk you have of losing all your capital, which is why I keep on saying, if you've got a really small portfolio, I sometimes say, just go for the riskiest of the riskiest, because worst case, you lose it all. But best case, you turn that 1,000 into crazy sums. And if you're trying hard and you're active on it every single day, looking through all the tweets, looking through all the communities, all the conversations, analyzing all these different big companies, you'll most likely find freaking gold. It's going to take commitment, but it's very much possible. If you've got more to start with, though, I always say make a split. Put a lot of these into solid investments that are pretty established that will most likely do well again the next run. That is, even if you buy them right now, they'll most likely not go down as much anymore, but they've got a lot of upside potential. with high certainty, which is a key. So you most likely just won't lose that much even if things do go wrong. Because these shit coins, they go down 99%. Whereas some of the more major ones, you've got easy minus 50%, which is still a lot, but at least you've got half left instead of nothing. I mean, take a look at my UST, right? And my Luna is down 99 point whatever percent. Anyway, guys, understand this is going to be one bumpy year. Just take a look at this article. 1/3 of all the CFTC crypto enforcement actions took place this year, and I already predict that the end of the next bull run is going to be because of mass allegations. So the SEC, CFTC, and whatever are going to go hard, right? Hard. And perhaps the bull market starts because somebody like Gary Gensler gets fired. I'm not so sure. Right now, there are a couple of subpoenas out, or at least they're looking to subpoena Gary Gensler because things are so strange. Again, let me remind you that if all fails, most likely things will still do extremely well because of the halving cycle. Purely based upon that, I think things will already do extremely good. And as you guys understand that, that's all you need to know about for right now. And I just wanted to quickly give you guys an update on also kind of my strategy, you know, because usually that's the way I roll. Started the bull market. I'm still in Bitcoin until I start to see, okay, some altcoins are popping off. I'm always looking for these crazy opportunities though, because every run is different. And then at some point I start to go more and more into the lower ranks and just go absolutely crazy. Right now is not that time yet though.